The marble lobby of Romano Enterprises falls into absolute silence. Security guards freeze mid-step, hands drifting toward concealed weapons. Quick pause. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from. If this story has you hooked, hit like and subscribe, because what's coming next is even more intense. The receptionist's manicured fingers hover above her keyboard, suspended in disbelief. Even the fountain in the center of the room seems to quiet its cascading water. And Michelino Romano, the man whose name alone makes senators sweat and rival crime families relocate to different cities, stands completely motionless behind the glass walls of his private elevator, staring at the smallest, most impossible visitor his building has ever received. A little girl. She can't be more than 5 years old, with golden brown curls that catch the morning light streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows. Someone has carefully pulled her hair into 2 neat pigtails, secured with pink ribbons that match her dress, a soft rose-colored creation with delicate white embroidery along the collar and hem. The dress has been pressed with obvious care, each pleat precise, though the fabric itself shows the subtle wear of being someone's special occasion outfit used one too many times. In her small hands she clutches a black leather portfolio that's almost comically oversized, nearly as tall as she is. She holds it with both hands, arms straining slightly under the weight, her knuckles white with determination. She stands in the exact center of his empire, tiny pink shoes planted firmly on marble that costs more per square foot than most people earn in a month. Her hazel eyes scan the enormous lobby with a mixture of wonder and fierce purpose, like a knight entering a dragon's lair with nothing but courage and a really important mission. The contrast is staggering, almost surreal. This tiny spot of soft pink innocence surrounded by cold glass, hard edges, and the kind of wealth and power that crushes people without even noticing. Romano's head of security, Marco, moves toward her with practiced efficiency. "Sweetheart, where's your... Are you Mr. Romano?" Her voice carries across the lobby, clear as a bell and completely fearless. Marco stops. Everyone stops. Because the little girl isn't looking at him. She's looking directly at the man behind the glass. The man no one approaches without an appointment, without clearance, without very good reason. The elevator doors open with a quiet chime. Romano steps out, and the temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. He's exactly as he appears in the photograph the girl probably can't see from where she's standing. Tall and imposing in a perfectly tailored charcoal suit that probably costs more than a used car, dark hair styled with precision, strong features that could be handsome if they weren't so carefully controlled. But it's his eyes that stop people. Dark, almost black, intelligent and calculating in a way that sees through lies, through bravado, through everything. Eyes that have watched people die and never blinked. Eyes that are currently staring at this child with an expression no one in this building has seen in 6 years. Shock. His voice emerges lower than intended, rougher. "Yes, I'm Romano." The little girl's entire face transforms, pure, uncomplicated relief flooding her features like sunrise. A smile spreads across her face, dimples appearing in her cheeks, and she starts walking toward him. Not hesitating. Not afraid. Not seeing the security guards tensing, the receptionist reaching for the panic button under her desk, Marco's hand moving toward his weapon. Just walking, her pink dress swishing with each step, her white Mary Janes clicking on marble, that enormous portfolio clutched like it contains the secrets of the universe. She walks right up to him. This feared man, this dangerous man, this man who has ended careers with whispers and lives with silences, and tilts her head back to look up at him because he's so tall and she's so small. "I'm Sophia," she announces with the kind of formal politeness that comes from a child who's been taught manners with love and patience. "I'm here for my mommy's interview. She has one today at 10 o'clock. She pauses and something flickers across her small face. Worry, determination, and a love so overwhelming it makes the air itself feel heavy. She couldn't come because she's really sick. She was crying this morning because she couldn't get out of bed and she worked so hard on all her papers and she was so scared she'd miss it and lose the job. Sophia's voice wavers but doesn't break. So I came instead. To show you her papers and tell you about her. She lifts the portfolio higher, her small arms trembling with effort but her voice steady and sure. I think you should definitely hire my mommy because she's the smartest and the best mommy in the whole entire world and we really need this job. The lobby remains frozen. 20 people holding their breath. Romano can't move. I can't speak. Can't think. Because the name crashes through him like the explosion that destroyed his life 6 years ago, tearing open wounds that never healed, just scarred over. Sophia. His daughter's name. The same name as the child who died when a car bomb meant for him killed everyone he loved instead. The daughter who would be exactly this age now, 5 years old with fearless eyes and a smile that could light up entire rooms. The daughter he failed to protect. And now this stranger's child stands before him with that same name, that same age, that same absolute trust in her eyes that says, "You're safe. You're good. You'll help because that's what good people do." The portfolio starts to slip from her small hands, too heavy, her grip failing. Romano moves without thinking, pure instinct taking over. He catches it before it falls, his hands so large they completely engulf the leather case. His fingers brush hers for just a second. Warm. Real. Alive. Not a ghost. Not a memory. A living, breathing child who crossed an entire city alone because she loves her mother more than she fears the unknown. Sophia looks up at him with complete trust, no fear anywhere in her expression. Thank you for catching it. Mommy put all her important papers in here. Her resume and her certificates and her letters from her old job. She says first impressions matter, so everything has to be perfect. She pronounces certificates carefully, like a word she's been practicing. Romano finds his voice, though it comes out quieter than usual, almost gentle. How did you get here, Sophia? I took the bus. The M15. I know how because Mommy and I take it sometimes when we need to go places. I had the exact change in my pocket, $2.75. And then I walked 3 blocks and found the building with your name on it. She says this with such pride, like she's accomplished something remarkable. Which she has. Does your mother know you're here? Sophia's expression flickers, guilt, worry. No. She was sleeping. The fever made her really tired. I left a note that said, "Gone to help. Back soon. Love, Lily." She looks down. That's my nickname. Mommy calls me Lily. Why Lily? Because when I was born I was really early and really tiny, and Mommy says I was like a little flower that had to be super strong to grow. So I'm Lily. She looks back up at him. Is it okay that I came instead of her? I know I'm not big like a grown-up, but I can tell you all about why Mommy would be really good at the job. Romano's throat constricts. This child, this brave, impossible child, crossed a dangerous city alone, navigated a building filled with criminals and killers, and walked up to one of the most dangerous men in New York with nothing but love and determination. Just like his Sophia would have done. Just like his daughter's fearless heart would have driven her to protect the people she loved, no matter the cost. The portfolio feels impossibly heavy in his hands. Not because of its weight, but because of what it represents. A mother desperate enough to prepare for an interview while burning with fever. A child brave enough to deliver it when that mother couldn't. I think you should hire her, Sophia continues, her voice taking on a slightly rehearsed quality, like she's been practicing this speech. She's really smart with numbers and computers. She helped lots of people at her old job before things got hard. And she's the best mommy ever because even though we don't have a house right now, she makes sure I have everything I need and she reads to me every night and she never gets mad even when things are scary. The last words tumble out in a rush, and Romano sees her chin tremble slightly. Behind the bravery, she's just a terrified child trying to save her mother the only way she knows how. We don't have a house right now. The words echo in the silent lobby. A confession delivered with a child's honesty, not understanding how much power those words hold, what they reveal about circumstances she shouldn't have to understand at 5 years old. Romano looks at this little girl, this stranger's child who shares his daughter's name and age and courage, and feels something crack inside his chest. Something that's been frozen solid for 6 years, sealed behind walls of ice and violence and the careful management of a life built entirely on never feeling anything ever again. It's painful. Raw. Like blood returning to frostbitten limbs. Mr. Romano? Sophia's voice is smaller now, uncertainty creeping in for the first time. Are you okay? You look really sad. And that's what breaks him completely. Because no one, absolutely no one in 6 years, has looked at Michelino Romano and seen past the power, past the fear, past the carefully constructed armor, to the man underneath who is drowning in grief and guilt and the terrible, crushing weight of surviving when everyone he loved didn't. This 5-year-old just did. She sees him. Not the monster. Not the boss. Just a sad man who needs someone to care. Romano crouches down slowly, his expensive suit creasing on the marble floor, until he's at eye level with her. Up close, he notices details that make his chest tighten. Her shoes are slightly too small, the leather cracked and worn. There's a small stain on the hem of her dress that someone tried to wash out but couldn't quite remove. Her hands are clean but her fingernails are ragged, like she bites them when she's anxious. But her eyes are bright and clear and full of hope that hasn't been crushed yet. Sophia, he says quietly, would you do something for me? Yes. Immediate trust. Unconditional faith. Would you take me to your mother? Her face explodes into pure joy, the kind of uncomplicated happiness that only children possess, that adults forget is even possible. Really? You'll come see her? She's going to be so happy. She was so worried about missing the interview. I want to meet the woman who raised someone as brave as you. Sophia reaches out and takes his hand, just grabs it like it's the most natural thing in the world, like he's not the man whose handshake has sealed deals worth billions and deaths beyond counting. Like he's safe. Like he's good. Like he's just a person who can help. And Romano doesn't pull away. He stands still holding this child's small hand in his and turns to Marco. His voice is commanding, absolute. Clear my entire schedule. All meetings. Everything. Boss, you have the Castellano meeting at noon. Romano's look could freeze blood. Did I stutter? Total silence. Every person in the lobby understands that tone. It means absolute obedience or permanent consequences. Marco nods sharply. Yes, sir. Immediately. Romano looks down at Sophia, who's swinging their joined hands slightly, perfectly content. Can you show me where your mother is? She's in our car. That's where we're staying right now because we don't have an apartment yet. It's not fancy but mommy keeps it really clean and, she stops, suddenly self-conscious. Is that okay? That's very okay. Let's go. As they walk through the lobby, this feared mafia boss being led by the hand by a 5-year-old girl in a slightly too small pink dress. Something fundamental shifts in the universe. His men watch in complete shock. Some of them have worked for Romano for a decade and have never seen him touch another human being voluntarily, never seen him show anything but cold calculation and controlled violence. His enemies, watching from hidden cameras and planted informants, mark this exact moment as the first crack in Michelino Romano's armor in 6 years. They have no idea they're witnessing a resurrection. Because Romano feels something he thought died in that car bombing 6 years ago. The desire to protect someone. The willingness to be vulnerable. The dangerous, terrifying possibility of caring about another human being. And it starts with a little girl in a pink dress, holding his hand like he's a hero instead of a monster, leading him toward a mother who's about to change everything. 12 hours earlier. The fever started 3 days ago, a dull throb behind Patricia Porter's eyes that she ignored because she couldn't afford not to. Then it became a persistent ache in her bones that she pushed through because Sophia needed breakfast, needed clean clothes, needed her mother to keep pretending everything was fine. Now, at 3 a.m. in a forgotten parking lot beneath an overpass on the edge of Queens, Patricia burns. She's curled in the driver's seat of a 2008 Honda Civic with 187,000 miles and a temperamental starter that requires prayer and persistence. The seat is reclined as far back as it goes, which isn't far. A donated blanket covers her shivering body. Sweat soaks through her thrift store blouse, the nice one she saved for job interviews, now wrinkled and damp. Behind her, in the back seat that's been Sophia's bedroom for 93 days, she knows the exact number because she marks each morning on a calendar hidden in the glove compartment. Her daughter sleeps under a quilt printed with cartoon bears. Sophia's breathing is steady, peaceful, oblivious. Patricia's phone screen glows in the darkness. 2:47 a.m. Below it, reminder, job interview at Romano Enterprises 10 a.m. today. 1247 Madison Avenue. Executive assistant position. Do not be late. This interview is everything. The culmination of 3 months of applications, rejections, and carefully maintained hope. Executive assistant to the CEO of Romano Enterprises. $60,000 a year plus benefits. Health insurance that would cover Sophia's asthma medication, dental coverage, vision, everything they haven't had since Patricia's world collapsed 18 months ago. Enough money to rent an apartment. A real apartment with a bedroom and a kitchen and a bathroom that isn't a McDonald's restroom where they wash up before school each morning. Enough money to stop rationing Sophia's meals, stop choosing between food and gas, stop living in a constant state of terror that someone will notice they're homeless and call Child Protective Services. This job could save them. But Patricia can barely lift her head. She tries to sit up and the world tilts dangerously. Her vision darkens at the edges. The fever is worse, significantly worse. The cut on her hand from 3 days ago, sliced on a broken piece of the car's interior trim, couldn't afford antiseptic, cleaned it with bottled water and hope, throbs with infection that's spreading up her arm in angry red lines. At 6 a.m. she tries to stand. Makes it halfway out of the car before her legs give out and she collapses against the door frame, gasping. Sophia wakes up. Mama? I'm okay, baby. Just tired. But Sophia's 5 years old, not stupid. She's learned to read her mother's pain in the set of her shoulders, the tightness around her eyes, the way her hands shake when things are very, very bad. You're sick. Just a little. Patricia forces herself upright through sheer willpower. But I have the interview today, remember? For the good job. The one that will get us a house? Yes, baby. That one. Patricia stumbles to the trunk where they keep their closet. 3 garbage bags of clothes hung carefully to minimize wrinkles. She pulls out the black blazer and skirt she bought from a consignment shop, the white blouse she's hand-washed and line-dried a dozen times, the single pair of modest heels she's kept pristine for exactly this moment. By 8 a.m. she's dressed. Hair pulled back in a neat bun. Minimal makeup applied with shaking hands to hide the pallor, the exhaustion, the desperation carved into her features. She looks at herself in the car's rearview mirror and sees a woman pretending to be okay, pretending to be professional, pretending she didn't sleep in a parking lot. It'll have to be good enough. Sophia sits in the passenger seat, already dressed in her school clothes, a hand-me-down jumper and a shirt Patricia washed in a gas station bathroom sink yesterday. You look pretty, Mama. Thank you, baby. Patricia checks the time, 8:47 a.m. The interview is at 10. Normally, she'd drop Sophia at the free community daycare first, then take 2 buses to Manhattan. But standing makes her dizzy. Walking feels impossible. She picks up her phone with trembling fingers and dials the number for Romano Enterprises that she's memorized. Romano Enterprises, how may I direct your call? Professional. Crisp. The voice of someone who's never missed a meal or slept in a car. I need to reschedule my interview with Mr. Romano. This is Patricia Porter. I'm scheduled for 10 a.m. today and I'm very sick. I just need 1 day to... One moment, please. Classical music fills her ear. Patricia closes her eyes, praying. The music cuts off. A different voice now, female, older, sharp as broken glass. Miss Porter, this is Grace Chin, Mr. Romano's executive assistant. I'm looking at your file now. Yes, I just need to reschedule for tomorrow or the next day. Miss Porter, let me be very clear. Each word precisely enunciated, no warmth anywhere. Mr. Romano does not reschedule. He gave you an appointment time. You show up at 10 a.m. today, or your application is permanently withdrawn and you will never receive consideration for any position within this organization again. Are we clear? Patricia's fever-addled brain struggles to process this. I understand, but I'm genuinely ill. I have a fever. I can barely stand. Then I suggest you find a way to stand for the next 2 hours. 10 a.m. Miss Porter. If you're not in this lobby at 9:55, don't bother showing up at all. Click. The call ends. Patricia stares at her phone like it's a death sentence. Which, in a way, it is. She tries to stand again. Gets halfway up before vertigo slams into her and she has to grab the car door to keep from falling. Her vision swims. Black spots dance at the edges. She can't do this. Physically cannot make this interview. Which means they've lost everything. 3 months of living in this car. 3 months of Sophia missing birthday parties and playdates because they can't afford gifts or admission fees. 3 months of Patricia selling everything they own piece by piece. Jewelry, furniture, her grandmother's china, her late father's watch. Just to keep gas in the tank and food in Sophia's stomach. All for this one chance. This one interview that could change their lives. Gone. Patricia presses her face against the steering wheel and starts to cry. Not delicate tears, deep, wrenching sobs that shake her entire body. The kind of crying that comes when you've been holding everything together with spit and determination and it finally breaks anyway. Mama, don't cry. Please don't cry. Sophia's small hand on her shoulder. Her 5-year-old daughter is trying to comfort her because their roles have been backwards for months now. I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. I tried so hard to make this work. I can't. It's okay, Mama. We'll be okay. But they won't. Patricia knows they won't. Winter is coming. Sleeping in the car is already dangerous. When temperatures drop below freezing, it becomes potentially lethal. Aunt Patricia's already drowning in $80,000 of medical debt from Sophia's premature birth. 3 months in NICU, every day adding thousands to bills she'll never be able to pay. They have $127 in their bank account. $17 in cash. A car that might not start tomorrow. And now no interview. No job. No hope. Mama, Sophia says quietly. What if I went? Patricia looks up, confused. What? To the interview. What if I went and showed Mr. Romano your papers? I could tell him about you. I'm good at talking. Baby, no. That's not how. You can't. But why not? Sophia's face is so earnest, so determined. You always say I'm a good helper. And I can read the big words now. I could show him your resume and your certificates and tell him all the good things about you. Patricia wants to explain why this is impossible, inappropriate, and would never work. But her fever-addled brain can only produce one thought. It's better than nothing. No, that's insane. She can't send her 5-year-old daughter alone into Manhattan to an interview with a CEO she's never met. Sophia, sweetheart, I appreciate it, but... Please, Mama. Sophia's eyes fill with tears. I can help. I want to help. You're always taking care of me. Let me take care of you. Patricia's heart shatters into 1,000 pieces. Before she can respond, exhaustion and fever drag her under. She slumps against the seat, unconscious, her body finally surrendering to the infection burning through her blood. Mama? Mama. Sophia shakes her shoulder gently, then harder. Patricia doesn't wake. Sophia sits very still for exactly 3 seconds, the way children do when processing something enormous. Then she makes a decision with the same determination that's kept her smiling through 3 months of homelessness. She'll go to the interview. She'll save her mama. Because that's what you do when you love someone. You're brave even when you're terrified. Romano stares at this child and time fractures. He sees his daughter, 4 years old, in their penthouse kitchen, flour dusting her nose, laughing while making cookies. Her voice, "Daddy, look." Her small hands presented burnt cookies like treasure. Then, the morning that ended everything. Walking to the car with his wife Sophia and daughter Sophia. The click beneath the vehicle. Him diving to cover them. Failing. The explosion. Fire. His daughter's hand in his, then nothing. Silence. Absolute silence. For 6 years he's been a ghost. He built an empire on control because feeling meant remembering. He became untouchable. No attachments, just power and violence carefully managed. His organization flourished while he died inside. Now this stranger's child asks, "Are you okay, mister? You look sad." Something cracks inside his chest. He crouches to her level, his suit creasing against polished wood. Up close, he sees worn shoes too small for her feet, a thrift store dress pressed with love, the way she grips the portfolio like it's everything. Because to her, it is. "Is your mother very sick?" Sophia nods, lower lip trembling. "She has a bad fever. She cried because she can't come. But she worked so hard." She whispers, "We don't have a house right now." Romano's world tilts. This brave child crossed the city alone. Just like his Sophia would have. Just like his daughter's fearless heart would have driven her. He stands abruptly. "Clear my schedule. Everything." His enforcer Marco, visible in the doorway, hand near his weapon, hesitates. "Boss, the Castellano meeting?" "Did I stutter?" Silence. That tone means absolute obedience. Romano looks at Sophia. "Take me to your mother." Joy explodes across her face. She grabs his hand without hesitation, without fear. No one has touched Michelino Romano voluntarily in 6 years. But this little girl holds his hand like he's safe. Like he's good. And he doesn't pull away. As they walk through his office, this feared boss led by a 5-year-old in pink, something fundamental shifts. His men watch in shock. They're watching a resurrection. Romano's convoy of black SUVs arrives at a crumbling parking lot beneath an overpass. Sophia runs ahead, pink dress bright against gray concrete. "Mama, I brought help." Romano exits and sees the Honda Civic. Towels taped over windows, peeling paint, one taillight held with electrical tape. This isn't a parked car. This is someone's entire world. Inside, Patricia lies unconscious, pale as death, sweat soaking her blouse. The interior tells a story. Milk cartons in a cooler, ration crackers in Ziploc bags, a blanket, clothes hung carefully, a jar labeled Job Interview Fund, with $23.47. On the dashboard, Sophia's note in careful handwriting, "Gone to help. Back soon. Love, Lily." Romano's chest constricts. This woman kept her dignity, kept her daughter fed and loved, while homeless. Her child crossed the city alone to save her. Patricia's eyes flutter open. She sees Romano, terror floods her face. She presses against the door, arms defensive. Men have taught her to expect violence. "Mama, no." Sophia grabs her hand. "He's nice. He'll help." But Patricia stares with eyes that stopped believing in help. Romano recognizes that look. He's seen it in mirrors for 6 years. Fury twists in his chest. Not pity, he despises pity. Rage at the world that let them become invisible. "Call Dr. Reeves," he tells Marco, voice deadly calm. "Mount Sinai Private Wing. I'm coming personally." He opens the car door carefully. Patricia flinches. "Miss Porter, I'm taking you to a hospital." "I can't afford." "I didn't ask what you can afford." He lifts her, she weighs nothing, burning with fever, and carries her to the SUV. Sophia clings to his coat, portfolio clutched tight. Driving, Sophia chatters nervously, "Mama's really smart. She knows numbers and computers. She can help you." "Boss, is she okay?" Romano looks at this brave child now showing fear. "Yes," he promises. "I'll make sure." Sophia trusts him completely. Patricia drifts delirious. Sophia? Keep her safe. Can't let them find us? Them? Romano files it away. At Mount Sinai, Dr. Reeves treats Patricia. Severe infection, dehydration, malnutrition. Romano watches through glass as they stabilize her. Sophia sits beside him, content. Mr. Romano? Do you have kids? His throat closes. I did. Once. Where now? With the angels. Sophia processes this. Take his hand. That's really sad. I'm sorry. No one has said those words in 6 years. This child just did. Thank you, Sophia. You can call me Lily. That's what Mama calls me. Why Lily? Because when I was born early and tiny, Mama says I was like a flower that had to be strong to grow. Romano looks at this miracle and realizes he would kill anyone who hurt her. And he's known her for 3 hours. 3 days later, Patricia stands before Romano Enterprises again. No fever, no desperation visible. Just a woman in a second-hand black suit, hair professional, makeup hiding exhaustion. Sophia's at Little Explorers Academy, private daycare Romano paid for 6 months advance. Without asking. Like it was natural. Patricia feels strangely calm. Maybe it's the FBI training, Agent Reed drilling cover stories, teaching document photography, installing encrypted software. Maybe it's knowing she has no choice. Reed made it clear, complete this mission, we erase your debt, give immunity, relocate with a new identity. Refuse, we ensure you lose custody for child endangerment. They showed her photos of Sophia sleeping in the car. Evidence gathered for weeks. Leverage wrapped in a badge. So Patricia Porter became an FBI asset. Here to infiltrate the man who saved her. Grace leads her to his office. Mr. Romano's finishing a call. Patricia studies her surroundings. Leather furniture worth more than her car, original artwork, Manhattan views. Power concentrated and displayed. The door opens. Romano emerges. She saw him delirious with fever. Now she sees clearly, 6'2", athletic build beneath tailored charcoal suit. Dark hair is precise. Strong jaw. Eyes almost black. Intelligent, calculating, sad beneath. Miss Porter. He extends his hand. His grip is firm, controlled. Everything about him was controlled. Inside his office he gestures to a chair. She sits, spine straight, hands folded exactly as the FBI taught her. Romano opens her file. 3 minutes of silence. Patricia counts. 187 heartbeats. Your resume is impressive. MIT graduate. 8 years of financial analysis. Excellent references. He pauses. So why was a woman with your qualifications living in a car? FBI prepared her for this. Stick to truth. Lies are harder to maintain. My ex-husband was a police officer. Also an addict and gambler who used his fists. Something flickers in Romano's eyes. When I left, he destroyed everything. Drained savings, maxed credit cards in my name, borrowed from loan sharks. Our daughter was born premature. 3 months in the NICU. The bills? She swallows. Impossible. He died 2 years ago. His debts didn't. So you've been running. I've been surviving. Silence. Romano studies her with intensity that makes her skin prickle. Then he closes her file. You're hired. Start Monday. 70,000 plus health insurance for you and Sophia. Signing bonus 10,000 by the end of day. Patricia's composure shatters. What? Your daughter crossed the city alone for you, Romano says quietly. That kind of love doesn't come from nowhere. Tears burn her eyes. The FBI called him a monster. But he just gave her everything. Standing to leave, Romano's voice stops her. Don't make me regret this. Warning. But his eyes say, don't make yourself regret this. Patricia walks out with a job and a terrible secret burning like acid. Mission on. Full access to his operations. but she isn't sure she wants to complete it. Week 1. The Queen's apartment is small, aging carpet, clanking radiator, but has a window overlooking a park. Sophia presses her face against glass. "Mama, can I go to the park?" Patricia cries, tucking Sophia into an actual bed. Not a car back seat. A bed with a butterfly print comforter. "Are we staying, Mama?" "For real?" "Yes, baby. For real." Sophia sleeps smiling. Patricia sits in darkness, staring at the FBI laptop hidden in her closet. Soul tearing in half. Week 2. At Romano Enterprises, Patricia processes financials and sees patterns, shell companies, offshore accounts, payments that don't reconcile. Exactly what the FBI wants. Money laundering, tax evasion, RICO violations. She photographs documents after hours. Sends encrypted reports every 3 days. Subject maintains offshore accounts Cayman/Switzerland. Weekly cash payments $200,000. Recommend surveillance. Reed responds, "Good work. Keep digging. Remember what's at stake." What's at stake is Sophia's safety. Their freedom. So Patricia keeps photographing. Keeps betraying. Week 3, but she finds other things. Anonymous donations to Mount Sinai Children's Hospital, $2.4 million over 6 years. Always August 15th. She searches for the date. Finds, car bombing kills wife and daughter of alleged crime figure Michelino Romano. August 15th, 6 years ago. He's been donating millions to where his daughter died. Every anniversary. More files. Payments to Women's Shelter Youth Literacy Program, Scholarship Fund for Children Who Lost Parents to Violence. This doesn't match the FBI's profile. Grace finds her in records. Boss has rules. Strict rules. No drugs. No trafficking. No hurting civilians. Ever. What happens if someone breaks them? They disappear. That night, Patricia reports. Subject maintains strict code. Operations exclude drugs/trafficking. Significant charitable donations. Read, irrelevant. Document criminal activity, not PR. Donations don't erase murders. Reads right. But Romano isn't the monster they described. Week 4. Sophia starts kindergarten. Comes home with artwork, friends, stories about Ms. Washington. One evening, "Mama, can I visit Mr. Romano?" Patricia's heart breaks. Her daughter's attached to the man she's supposed to destroy. The next day they visited. Grace lights up. "Sophia?" The boss will be thrilled. Romano sees Sophia. His face transforms. Walls drop. "I smelt. Lily. How's kindergarten?" 4:45 minutes, Patricia watches him play chess with Sophia on his office floor. Teaching patiently. Laughing. Looking at her like she's precious. "This is the king," he explains. "Most important but not strong." "That's dumb." He laughs. "Everyone else protects him. That's what makes him important." "So he's important because people love him?" Romano stills. "Yes. Exactly." Leaving, Romano gives Patricia an envelope. For Sophia's school supplies. Inside, $500 and a note. Every child deserves to start school with everything they need. Patricia doesn't report this to the FBI. She's starting to like Michelino Romano. That's the most dangerous thing. 2 months in, Patricia stops sending reports. Reed notices. "Where's your weekly update?" She types. "Nothing new to report." Bullshit. "Send something by midnight or I will visit your apartment." The threat is clear. Patricia photographs random documents, purchase orders, vendor contracts, nothing incriminating. Send them, still building trust. Subject cautious. Better intel soon. It's a lie. She has incredible access. Could bring him down tomorrow. She doesn't. The shift, it happens gradually then completely. Patricia watches Romano refuse $1 million deal. They're laundering from sex trafficking. "We don't touch that. Ever." Sees him pay a vendor double when learning their daughter needs surgery. Watch him spend an hour with an elderly widow whose husband died protecting Romano's interests. He still sends her money monthly. Loyalty should be rewarded, he tells Grace. His family is my responsibility. This isn't the monster the FBI described. Late November, Patricia works late, alone in records. Finds a box labeled Personal SR. She shouldn't look. She looks anyway. Inside, child's drawings signed Sophia R. Pink hairball. Mother's Day card, to the best daddy. I love you more than cookies. Photos, dark-haired little girl with Romano's eyes, laughing in his arms. Wedding photo, him younger, genuinely smiling with a beautiful dark-haired woman. Newspaper clipping, car bomb kills 2 in apparent mob hit. Destroyed vehicle photos. A letter worn from handling. My dearest Michelino, if you're reading this, the worst happened. I know your world. I know the dangers. Don't blame yourself. You gave us a beautiful life. If I die, 2 requests. Don't let vengeance consume you. Don't close your heart. Live my love. Don't just survive. What? All my love, Sophia. Patricia reads 3 times, tears streaming. That's not your job description, Miss Porter. She spins. Romano stands in the doorway. I'm sorry, she whispers. I shouldn't have looked. He walks slowly. Takes the letter from trembling hands. She wrote this 2 months before they died. Like she knew. Did you find who did it? The Volkov family. Russian organization. They thought killing my family would break me. Bitter laugh. They were right. But you destroyed them? Yes. Every last one. 3 years, but I ended the Volkov line. His haunted eyes meet hers. Does that frighten you? It should. No, she says honestly. I understand it. Because if someone killed Sophia, she'd become a monster too. You loved someone violent. Someone who hurt you. Not a question. My ex-husband. Police officer. Good at first, then not. She touches her shoulder unconsciously. I thought I'd never trust a man again. Do you trust me? Trap. She knows it's a trap. I shouldn't. But yes. Something shifts. Understanding. Recognition. Your daughter reminds me of mine, he says quietly. When she walked in, I saw Sophia, my Sophia, for the first time in 6 years. That's why you helped us. At first. But now. Direct look. Now because you're both remarkable. Your daughter makes me remember what's worth protecting. You deserve better than what life gave you. Patricia's chest tightens. This is the man she's supposed to destroy. Why tell me this? Because whatever brought you into my life, I'm grateful. She should confess everything. Instead, I'm grateful too. 2 liars in a room full of ghosts. Romano's phone buzzes. His demeanor changes, back to business. I have to take this. Lock up when you leave. Patricia's alone with memories and crushing betrayal. She picks up her FBI phone. Stares. Drops it in her coffee. Watch it spark and die. She'll tell Rita it was an accident. Because Patricia Porter can't complete this mission. Which makes her a target of both the FBI and the Mafia. Romano watches surveillance footage. 3rd time. 4th. 5th. Hoping he's wrong. Patricia Porter, alone in records after hours. Photographing files. Methodical. Professional. Trained. Marcus stands beside him, grim. How long? Romano's voice is ice. Security flagged 2 weeks ago. She's been doing this since week 2. The woman he trusted. Whose daughter he loves. Who looked at him with understanding. Who's been betraying him from the beginning. Is she working alone? Marcus shows another screen. Unknown communications. FBI protocols. And more, she met someone 3 nights ago. Footage, Patricia with man in federal windbreaker. Romano's jaw tightens. Find out everything. Who recruited her? How deep? And then? Bring her to me. 20 minutes later, Patricia enters Romano's office unsuspecting. Grace called, "Mr. Romano needs you. Urgent." Romano stands by the window, hands clasped. On his desk, his gun. Unholstered. "Close the door, Miss Porter." Something in his voice freezes her. "How long have you been working for the FBI?" Deafening silence. Blood drains from her face. Romano turns. Expression absolutely empty, the blankness from when they first met. All warmth gone. "Monster the FBI warned about." "Yes," she whispers. "I'm FBI. Was supposed to be. They forced me. No choice." "So you used your daughter?" "No." Explosion. "Sophia went alone. I was unconscious. Never planned it. Never wanted her involved. Convenient." "It's true." Romano steps closer. Each step measured. Predatory. "Do you know what happens to traitors?" "Yes." "I know what you do." "Then you know I should kill you now." "Yes." She doesn't beg. Just accept death with quiet dignity. It infuriates him. "Everything, my daughter, past, abuse, debt, all real," Patricia says, shaking but clear. "The FBI found me at the lowest point. Reed threatened taking Sophia if I didn't cooperate. Child endangerment charge. I'd lose everything. And you expect me to believe you have no choice?" "I don't expect anything." Look at the gun, then at him. "But now, I stopped reporting 2 weeks ago. Destroyed the phone. Couldn't do it anymore." "Why?" "Because you're not who they said." Words burst out. "They called you a monster. But you saved us. Gave Sophia home, school, future. You taught her chess. Looked at her like," voice breaks, "like she was your second chance. So sentiment? I couldn't destroy someone who showed more kindness than my own government." Romano picks up the gun. Patricia flinches. "Did they tell you about Victor Castellano?" Quietly. "Your second in command?" "Leaking information for 8 months. I've known 6. Feeding him false intelligence, watching contacts. Pulls file, throws it. Agent Marcus Reed. Victor. Volkov's. All working together." Patricia stares. Surveillance photos, communications, bank records. "Using you as a pawn," Romano continues. "You gather evidence, Reed builds a case, they arrest me. Victor takes the organization, splits with Volkov's. And you?" Cold smile. "You disappear. No family, no connections. They were always going to kill you." Patricia's legs give out. Collapses shaking. "Impossible." Reed said. Reed lied. "You were perfect, desperate, intelligent, invisible." Crouches, forcing eye contact. "Never getting immunity. Never getting a new life. Getting a bullet when you stop being useful." Patricia can't breathe. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number, check your daughter's school. Now. Shaking hands are called little explorers. "Hello, Patricia Porter checking on Sophia?" "Miss Porter, Sophia was picked up 20 minutes ago." Her uncle. "I don't have a brother." Romano is already moving. Grabs phone. "Who picked her up?" Description. "Now." "Tall, blonde, said family had authorization." Romano hangs up. "Marcus, find her. Every camera, contact, resource. Now." The phone buzzes. Video message. Sophia tied to a chair in the warehouse. Tears streaming, eyes terrified. "Mama, I want home." Victor Castellano enters the frame. "Hello, Michelino. Pretty thing. Reminds me your daughter, isn't it?" Patricia makes wounded animal sounds. "Here's how this works. Pier 7. Alone. 2 hours. You come, girl goes free. Don't, children are fragile." Black screen. Patricia collapses sobbing. "They have my baby." Romano grips her shoulders. The voice cuts through panic. "Look at me." She does. His eyes burn with certainty. "I swear on my daughter's grave, I will bring Sophia home." "How?" "Because I lost one Sophia. Won't lose another." Stands calculating. Victor made one mistake. I think I'll trade my life for a child. Won't you? Romano's smile is dangerous. Yes. But he forgot. I have people who die for me too. We've been planning for Victor's betrayal for months. To Marcus, Code Omega. Teams in position. Every man we trust. This ends tonight. To Patricia, stay here. If I don't return, the envelope is on my desk. Money, documents, disappear with Sophia. I'm coming. Absolutely not. She's my daughter. Romano grabs her face gently. Exactly why you stay. If I fail, won't she needs her mother? Not two dead parents. Patricia crumbles. Please bring her back. I will. Picks up a gun. When this is over, a very different conversation about trust and truth. He walks out. Patricia alone in his office, surrounded by ghosts and betrayal. Pier 7 warehouse. Romano arrives alone as ordered. No visible weapons. Black suit, white shirt. Walking into a trap like a king approaching the guillotine. Knowing it's there, choosing anyway. Warehouse empty, cavernous. Dying fluorescence flicker. Sophia sits center, tied to a chair, pink dress torn and dirty. Seeing him, her face crumbles. Mr. Romano. It's okay, little one. I'm here. Victor emerges with 10 armed men. Tactical gear, pistol casual. The great Michelino Romano. On time. Alone. How obedient. Let her go. Eventually. First we talk. Victor circles. 6 years in your shadow. 6 years watching you build an empire while I do actual work. You're dead inside. I kept everything running. Is that what you tell yourself? Truth? When Volkovs offered partnership, real partnership, I realized I didn't need you. So you sold out. Ugly laugh. Family? You killed my family. Volkovs were my cousins. You slaughtered them. What about my loss? Romano stills. You were from the Volkov family? Mother's side. You never knew because you never looked deeper. Raises gun. This always ends here. Me taking everything. Starting with the child you care about. Points gun at Sophia. Romano's entire body becomes a weapon. Coiled, lethal. If you hurt her. You'll what? Unarmed. Outnumbered. About to watch another child die. Sophia looks at Romano with absolute trust. I knew you'd come. You're the king. Romano's heart breaks and hardens. Lily, close your eyes. But. Close them. Trust me. She does. Victor sneers. Touching. Kill him. The back wall explodes. Marcus and 20 soldiers breach with military precision. Flashbangs, smoke, chaos. Romano throws himself over Sophia, shielding as bullets tear air. Keep your head down. I've got you. Sophia buries face in his shoulder. I'm scared. I know. But you're the bravest person I've met. Be brave a little longer. Gunfight brutal, efficient. Romano's men are professionals. Victor's are criminals. Outcome inevitable. 3 minutes. 12 casualties, all victors. 0 civilian injuries. Victor runs. Romano chases through warehouses, shipping containers, rusted machinery, into alleys where Manhattan lights bleed through darkness. Victor spins, gun raised. Should have killed the FBI woman. Your mistake. Romano stops, hands visible. No, Victor. My choice. Your weakness. Difference between us. I know when not to pull the trigger. You're soft. Fund hospitals and schools like that erases what you are. I am a killer, Romano's voice deadly. But I kill to protect. You kill to take. We're nothing alike. Marcus appears behind Victor, gun to skull. Drop it. Victor kneels. This isn't over. Reed will. Reed was arrested 40 minutes ago, Romano said. FBI Internal Affairs investigating him. Your communications? Evidence? Bank accounts? Traced? Volkovs? Debt or custody. You're the last loose end. Victor goes white. You knew. The whole time. 8 months. Let you think you were winning. Crouches to his level. You were always just a pawn, Victor. I was playing chess. You were playing checkers. Sirens wail. Romano stands. The FBI arrives in 3 minutes. You confess everything, conspiracy, kidnapping, Volkovs. In exchange, I won't tell them about offshore accounts where you've been skimming. 20 years instead of life. If I refuse, those accounts get emptied, donated to children's charities. Your lawyers disappear. You die in prison within a month. Your choice. Victor slumps. Broken. Romano walks back. Sophia's free, wrapped in Marcus's jacket, crying but alive. Mr. Romano launches at him. He catches her, lifts her, holds like she's light. I told you I'd come. I was scared but pretended I was a pawn, being brave to be queen later. Romano's eyes close. You're already queen. We're always the queen. She sobs into shoulder. I want mama. Let's find her. The queen's apartment is still small but transformed. Sophia's artwork covers the refrigerator. Books fill shelves. Sunlight streams through clean windows. Sunday morning, the doorbell rings. Sophia runs squealing. He's here. Mama, he's here. Patricia emerges from the kitchen, apron flour dusted. Romano stands in the doorway holding a lily bouquet and chess set. Hope I'm not early. Right on time. Sophia grabs his hand. We're making pasta. Mama's teaching me. Come help. Next hour, Patricia watches Michelino Romano, reformed crime lord, feared businessman, broken man healing, help a 5-year-old make pasta. You're getting flour everywhere, Patricia laughs. Sophia's fault. Terrible influence. Hey. Sophia throws flour at him. He retaliates. Minutes later, all covered in flour, laughing like it's normal. After lunch, slightly lumpy but perfect pasta, they sit on the floor. Romano and Sophia play chess. Patricia watches, heart aching. Checkmate, Sophia announces proudly. Romano was surprised. When did you learn that move? Been practicing. Ms. Washington has a chess club. Well played, Queen Sophia. She beams. Later, Sophia asleep on the couch, Romano and Patricia sit by the window watching city lights. The FBI accepted your restructuring plan, Patricia says quietly. Grace told me. You're going fully legitimate. Time. Past time. Look at your hands. I built an empire on violence because I thought strength meant never being vulnerable. But Sophia's letter, she asked me to live, not just survive. I'm finally listening. What will you do? Real estate development. Legal consulting. Political fundraising. Good money and legitimacy. Slight smile. And I've started a foundation. Scholarships for children who lost parents to violence. Sophia, my Sophia, would like that. Patricia's eyes fill. She'd be proud. I hope so. Look at her. What about you? Applied to graduate school. Financial forensics. Turns out I'm good at following money. Soft laugh. FBI offered a consulting job. I declined. Why? Done being used. Building something of my own. Comfortable silence watching Sophia sleep. Michelino, Patricia says carefully. What is this? Between us. He considers it honestly. I don't know. 3 months ago you were an employee and spy. Now you're someone who understands. Someone who's seen all of me, monster, man, broken parts, and hasn't run. 3 months ago I thought you were a criminal needing to be stopped. Now I know you're a man who made terrible choices in terrible circumstances, trying to be better. Is that enough? I think it's everything. Sophia stirs, mumbles, "Don't take queen, protect king." They both smile. "She's dreaming of chess," Patricia whispers. "She's brilliant. She loves you. Talks about you constantly. You're her hero." Romano's voice cracks. "I don't deserve that." "Maybe not. But earned it anyway." Covers his hand with hers. "You saved her life twice. First from poverty and fear. Then from Victor. Gave us both a second chance. You gave me a second chance too. Reminds me I'm still capable of feeling. Caring." Squeezes her hand. "I was dead inside 6 years. You and Sophia brought me back. So where does that leave us?" Romano looks at this complicated, beautiful, damaged woman who betrayed him and saved him and somehow became essential. "Friends? For now. With possibility of more when we're both ready. Very cautious. We've both been hurt enough. Let's do this right." Patricia nods. "Friends who have chess lessons and cook terrible pasta." Pasta was excellent. Was lumpy. But made with love. That's what matters. Sophia wakes, sees them holding hands, smiles sleepily. "Are you staying for movie night?" "If your mother doesn't mind." Patricia makes space. "We're watching Frozen." Again. "Haven't seen it." Sophia gasps. "Never seen Frozen?" "Mama, we have to educate him." So they watch. Sophia sings every song. Patricia makes popcorn. Romano sits between them, 5-year-old one side, her mother the other, thinking about the journey here. He lost family to violence. Found family through compassion. Maybe that's redemption. Not erasing the past but building something new from ashes. Not forgetting who you were but choosing who you want to become. As Elsa sings, Sophia turns, "Mr. Romano?" "Yes, little one? Are you happy?" The question stops his heart. When was the last time someone asked? When was the answer yes? "Yes, Sophia. I am." She snuggles against him, content. "Good. You deserve to be happy." Romano looks at Patricia over Sophia's head. She's watching with tears in eyes and something that might be love growing in space between them. He spent 6 years in darkness. Maybe it's time to let light back in.
If you enjoy watching this, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.